Before jumping into today's video, a quick shout out and thank you to Anthony over at Toy Hype USA. Anthony provided me with some of the images you will see in this video of MOTU Origins at retail, and it is most appreciated. He's got a great site. I've known him for many, many years. I've done interviews on his show, and it's always a stop on my daily check-off on what's happening in the toy industry. So check him out. And now, on with the show. In the second half of 2020, while we were all sheltering at home from the coronavirus and the one-eyed, one-armed, flying purple people eater invasion, Masters of the Universe Origins came out. And there was a lot of confusion about this line. First off, it only showed up at one retailer in the US, Walmart, yet international stores and retailers were getting waves well beyond what Walmart had. Wave 2, Wave 3, while Walmart pretty much had Wave 1. And who in the world was this line aimed at? It was a He-Man line in the vein of the vintage line with more articulation. Was it for kids? Or was it for collectors who wanted to just put it on their shelf and enjoy how pretty, pretty, pretty action figures look when all lined up? Well, the answer is really none of the above. It's really a line that was aimed at parents who have kids who want their kids to play with the toys they had and to share that experience. A noble idea. And one item in particular in this line, the Rise of Evil 2-pack at Toys R Us. Wow. When you say one thing and mean your mother, what a Freudian slip. Well, it's caused a lot of anger, this Target 2-pack, and it has been the source of many YouTube videos, many blog posts, many social media sort of scream fests. People even declaring that this pack was going to bring down the entire toy industry, was going to collapse because this 2-pack at Target could not be found, and the $30 billion industry that is toys was now going to fall apart. Okay, well, obviously that didn't happen, and the thing about this pack is, yeah, it was hard to find when it first came out, like almost all exclusives and all new releases. And yes, there have been some exclusives I've never seen on shelf. But the idea that this was going to bring down the toy industry or was going to remain hard to find forever, well, your argument is a little invalid on a couple points. And I'm not pointing out anyone in particular. I'm just saying from the internet in general feeling this way. So let's look at some facts. Target has approximately 2,000 retail locations in the US. I found this out by searching this thing called Google and typing in how many Target stores. And each store we know a few months ago got 2 units, 2 pair. 2 units, 1 pair? I don't know. They're a pair of figures, but they got 2 boxes, which means 4,000 units, right? 2,000 Targets, each got 2. 2 times 2,000 is 4,000. I did so good in 4th grade math. Well, yeah, there's going to be more units coming. I was very vocal about this, and it's really all about having patience. Like I said, there are some exclusives I've never found. I've never found the Red Hulk. I never even saw that. But collectors are a lot like eagles that steal baby lions from parent lions. They swoop in and they grab what they want right away. Remember when He-Man from MOTU Origins was selling for $40, $60, even $80 when he first hit? Yeah, there was a huge premium on this figure when it came out in August of 2020. But now you can basically walk into any Walmart, any Target, or I wish Toys R Us. So jealous of Canada. And it's basically peg warming, for lack of a better word. So the idea of spending $40 or $80, well, the figure is super easy. Barely an inconvenience at this point. And that's because eventually shipments catch up with demand. Not all the time. Like I said, Red Hulk, never saw it on shelf. But oh, lo and behold, this morning, there was the 2-pack at Target. I found it, and I passed on it because I'm not a collector of Origins, and I left it for the next person. But there's more units shipping. It's still shipping. The idea that only 4,000 units were produced, that's so below MOQ. It's ridiculous. Like, there's no way that is the limit of the units. They just have to catch up with demand. So what about the future of Origins, besides being patient and waiting for items to show up? I mean, look how easy it is to get He-Man now. Again, this Keldor pack will probably shelf form in time, too. Well, as I said in the title of this video, the good, the bad, and the ugly, well, there is a bad, too, to report on, and that's the Mattel Toy Store. What is the Mattel Toy Store? It is a store open to the public that is usually attached to a Mattel headquarters. There are several. El Segundo, California, East Aurora, New York, where Fisher-Price is, both have Mattel Toy Stores that are open to the public. Employees do get to shop there, but anyone can walk in. They also have holiday pop-up shops for usually November and December. And in El Segundo, where the world headquarters for Mattel is, there is a giant tent that they erect every holiday season and just have like bins and bins and bins of toys. And sometimes you can find some pretty cool, awesome stuff, even stuff for, quote-unquote, the adult collector. So, at big discounts. All right, so why am I talking about the Mattel Toy Store? Well, the thing is, the Mattel Toy Store is usually where product winds up when retailers do not order it, but it's already been produced. So, as an example, a toy line might be super hot at first, but then maybe, it isn't, or the movie content doesn't do well. A perfect example is the Modifiters. This was a line of transforming robots, more or less, that were in the Hot Wheels line that I worked on, and I loved them. I had a great time working on them, writing the bios, coming up with the names, and doing the backstories. But they didn't do well at retail, and the final wave, which was made up of the Quick Changers, which were figures that sort of just popped up by touching them, included a character named Spector. And I never got a sample. And I was like so sad I never got a sample. Well, lo and behold, one day 40 of them were in the Mattel store, and I went and bought like 20 of them. It was the only time I ever saw it, because retailers canceled their orders, but production was already done, and one of the only places Mattel can ship it is to their own stores. Why am I going over all this? Well, recently, Masters of the Universe Origins, and especially the later waves, have been showing up in bulk at all of the Mattel stores. So one, if you're near one of them, I suggest heading over, because they're also on discount. Two, this is usually a sign that retailers have passed. So they have stock, they have inventory, but nobody wants it. So that usually means a line is waning, and much like Modifiters, is probably on its way out. Now that could be just a momentary glitch, but from my experience, when a toy line, especially unreleased waves, like the most recent waves, show up at a Mattel toy store, it's a very good shot. And if I was a betting man, and I'm usually not a betting man, but if I was, I would put money down that we probably are seeing the waning months of Origins. But that may not be a bad thing, because there's 2 new series coming with content for the brand on Netflix. A kid show and a more adult collector show that's a, Revelation, that's a continuation of Filmation, etc. So in a lot of ways, Origins was probably a bit more like a seat filler. It was a way to secure real estate space for the brand, but it was not meant to be forever. It was just going to hold its place. So I know that we do get angry when we can't find things, but remember, in time, most stuff does show up. Well, except for that Red Hulk figure I never found. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I like to answer everything, and I'm just trying to bring some positivity, and information out there to avoid being angry at things, we can't really control. All right, happy collecting, everyone.